that point, I'll make sure and cover it.
Okay, are you gonna be able to stay on until 4 o'clock?
That was my plan. I think it would
Okay,
look weird.
I just want to be sure.
Yes, sir.
I just want to be sure. Sometimes people have to bounce out. So.
Okay.
I just want to be sure. Yes, sir. I just want to be sure.
We are live.
Right.
Yes. All right. All right. Hello, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. Well, do you want to wait till 3:05?
Oh,
No?
okay.
Let people start staggering in.
Sure.
So we just went live.
Right. And there you are. Share that.
Is there anybody else that I need to add on from the attendees list, Daryl?
Yes, do you see someone, she's gonna talk about her business, Tamara. See Tamara, anybody else in there?
I got her.
You can get to know her right quick before we go live.
Tamara? Can you hear us? You're muted. And we can't see you. Hello? Tamara, we can't hear you or see you.
She can hear us.
Huh?
She can hear us. She said, hold on.
Okay.
We'll have Angela Neal on there for something. You see that question?
Sure. Give me 1 second. Angela, we got you. You're in. Hi, Angela.
All right, is that for you?
All right, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay. It's 3:05, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Tamara,
Go ahead.
Okay. Tamara, if you have any issues or questions, let me know so that we can get started. I'm gonna let Angela go first, and so give you a little bit more time to get your audio and video ready. All right. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today for our weekly The State of Your Business webinar with the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. My name is Denise, and I'm the Membership Service Director for the Chamber. So thank you so much for joining us. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. So a few updates for today about the Chamber is that we're actually going to start working from our offices again, not sporadically, but like within scheduling. So if you are wanting to come by our office, we're doing that on an appointment only basis type. So if you have any questions or you're wanting to drop by or make an appointment to see one of us, just let us know and we could definitely schedule you in now that we're able to go back into, instead of remote working, go back to the office. Also, if you are going to be joining us at our office, we do ask for any visitors to make sure that they're wearing a mask or a face covering to protect ourselves and also to protect you, you know. make sure that the virus isn't spread more than it already is. We're trying to keep our community safe. So if you're going to come into our office, we just ask you to wear a mask. And we're going to go ahead and introduce our businesses that we're featuring today. So for our webinars, we do allow our members and community members that have businesses to come and be featured on our weekly webinars. If you are interested in being featured, all you have to do is fill out a form. We have a form on our social media as well as our email blasts that you're able to sign up to be featured. So if you're interested in that, check that out. And so, yes, let's go ahead and start with Angela. Give me 1 second. All right, Angela, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Denise. And I'm excited. I'm a member of the chamber, and I have a business. The name of my company is Just the Heart LLC. However, the purpose of my sharing today is to highlight an opportunity that the American Marketing Association Dallas Fort Worth chapter has. And Denise, is it okay to get presenting rights? I have like just a quick blurb on.
Sure. So whenever you are being featured, you have about 3 to 5 minutes. So yeah, go ahead.
Alrighty, let me see if I can. That says sharing is disabled.
That's so odd. Okay, I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second.
So while we're
okay, try it again.
okay, awesome, beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you. So this should take just a few minutes, and what I want to share is I am the current president of the American Marketing Association Dallas Fort Worth chapter, and what we're offering in addition to highlighting our mission, which is to educate, support, and enhance the performance of our members and marketing professionals throughout the Metroplex. We are 501c3, and there are several different stages of how we support our marketers' careers. I won't dive into those because what I really would like to focus on today is a potential opportunity, community engagement opportunity. We're offering free marketing of member businesses or organizations for a limited time. And our primary focus is on the SMBs, or the small to medium businesses and nonprofits. And most certainly, we are highlighting those that have been severely impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. And this would involve, of course, coordinating between the chamber and our member volunteers to ensure we capture the companies that are looking for free marketing. And I do want to emphasize a little bit about our reach programs and connections. Some of the programs that we have throughout the year are listed. And I am excited to mention that this year, actually September 23rd, we are honoring our 2020 Lifetime Achievement recipient, Charlotte Jones, EVP, Chief Brand Officer of the Dallas Cowboys. And outside of that, I definitely need to mention a little bit about our reach and our members, which is highlighted on the slide. And I definitely want to point out one of our largest event tweet reaches was 1.3 million. So definitely supporting the chamber, member businesses and organizations, and offering free marketing for a limited time is something that I hope you all would take advantage of. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. I actually was a part of AMA back in college.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing that. And I hope people take advantage of the free marketing that you all are offering. AMA is an awesome organization. I learned so much being in the organization back in college.
Oh, yes, that's great to hear. We still have our collegiate chapters that we support here in the area as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you.
All right. And
How
so,
they should contact Angela?
oh, I'm so sorry. Yes. How do they get in contact with you?
Well, the best way to reach out to us is info@amadfw.com.
All
And
right.
also as a way of, hi Angela, this is Daryl. Um, Also in a way of working together, I believe I heard it correctly. If they want to connect contact the chamber, then we can make that connection as well. Of course, at my my email address is dbrewer@fwmbcc.org. Be happy to make that connection if you, for some reason, don't get with that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So Angela, you're more than welcome to stay on. We're going to go ahead and go to the next person. Tamara. One second. I got you on here. Okay, there's two of y'all now.
Okay, I am unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I just asked you to start your video. There you go. Hi, Tamara. Good to see you.
Am I unmuted?
Yes, you're good.
Let's see.
We can see you and we can hear you.
I have two things pulled up here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We can hear you.
Can you hear us?
You're good to
Tamara,
go.
can you hear us? I don't think she can hear us.
Probably not. Okay.
Oh. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh.
We can hear you.
Can you hear us, Tamara? Hello.
I am having a malfunction here.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, you can.
Yes, we can hear you. You're good.
I cannot hear you guys.
But we can hear you. We can hear you. You're good.
Okay, so I have some information here that I need to, I have my phone and my computer here. If you just see me kind of looking off. Okay, well, I guess I'll just start speaking. Okay, so I am Tamara and I am with Crew Logistics. As you can see here in the background, so Crew Logistics, we are a freight brokerage company and we are a trucking company as well. And so I do have some information here. Just give me one moment to get this information here pulled up.
Talk at the same time.
She can't hear you.
I'm not sure why this is malfunctioning. Okay, so I have my business contact information, and I just had some pictures here. I just wanted to show you guys instead of just my picture. But did you get my email, Daryl? Because I sent it to you.
What?
I can't hear anything.
Hey, put us all on the same, so she can at least see us shake our head no. We can't. Okay. Talk.
Okay,
Tell her to talk.
can you guys hear? Okay, can you hear me? Let me turn this off.
We're good. You can.
Yes, we can hear you. It's a comedy of errors. Yes, we hear you.
I cannot hear you guys.
That's all right. Trust us.
Probably the headphones. It might be your
I
headphones.
know. I just hate to just talk and no one can.
You hear
I'm thinking
something.
No one can hear me.
It
Okay.
might be the headphones.
Yeah, everything is connected. I'm not sure, but that's okay. Darryl, did you receive my presentation that I sent? Because I created something real quick, and I was trying to get that uploaded to share my screen.
No, just share your screen.
She's not on the computer. Her
Yeah, I'm on my cell phone. Yeah, I
On
was
her
trying to
phone.
get my computer connected.
You have to come back to you, sister.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, come back to me, please. Thank you.
We will. Give us about 10 minutes and we'll be back to you. All right.
Okay.
So get your computer up, and so you'll have both, but turn your computer down and
Okay.
just leave your cell phone up for volume. Okay. All right. Denise, you got anything else?
Not that I could think of at this moment, probably, but I can't think of it right now. Just continue.
All right. So that's how live TV goes, right?
Yes.
Well, so with that, we're going to go to the economic development portion of our program. And I'm Darryl Brewer, the Economic Development Manager for the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. We want to welcome you again. Today we have a good program. We're going to talk about money, which is always what we talk about in a way, one way or another, regarding economic development. And so we're going to talk about Preserve the Fort, which is $10 million that the city of Fort Worth has and it's going to give away. How about that? $10 million. And before we talk about that, we're going to bring Ryan Jones on. He's the vice president at Simmons Banks. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about what you might need to know so you can get loans and that sort of thing, so you can get money from a loan standpoint. And then I will go into Preserve the Fort, which is the grant program that the city of Fort Worth will be putting forward that actually started today. And after that, we're actually going to have Felicia on to come on, and she's going to actually go through the application. We're going to pull the application up, show you where it is, kind of go down it. And if you have any questions, make sure you type it in to the chat box. So if you're on Facebook, type it into the comments. We'll look on there. We'll be able to ask that question out loud and answer it for you. So again, if you need to contact me, I'm at dbrewer@fwmbcc.org. My phone number is 817-871-6558. So with that, I'm going to introduce to you Ryan Jones, who's the vice president at Simmons Banks. Ryan, are you there?
I am, Mr. Brewer. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Ryan.
it. Good afternoon, all. As Darryl indicated, I'm Ryan
Oh.
Jones.
1 second. Tamara just shared her screen.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. You can unshare my screen. Hold
Okay, give me a second.
Come on now, Tamara. We said we were going to come back to you.
We're good. We're good. We're back.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Jones. I'm a commercial lending officer at Simmons, as Darryl indicated. Under normal circumstances, I office over on Hewlin, right there at Hewlin and Vickery next to Trader Joe's, if you're familiar with the neighborhood. But like many of you all, I've been stuck in my dining room since March, and I'm ready to get out of here and meet you all in person. So I'm eager to hear that the chamber offices are reopening, and I'll probably pop in after I've made an appointment, and I'll make sure and wear my face mask. Thank you again, Darryl, for the introduction. I appreciate it. Simmons has recently joined the chamber, as I indicated, and I'm excited to be a resource. So we appreciate the opportunity to come say a few words. Darryl's asked me to talk a little bit today about some of the obstacles that small minority-owned businesses face when applying for the Paycheck Protection Program. In particular, I'm a commercial lending officer. I've got experience making a broad type of commercial loans. I can answer a lot of questions about that, but today we're going to focus on the PPP specifically. And then for any follow-up whatsoever, you can always get me at ryan.jones@simmonsbank.com. So again, Daryl's asked me to say a little bit about obstacles faced by minority business owners in receiving paycheck protection loans that are provided for under the CARES Act, which is an act Congress passed in late March. The implementation of that program has been a challenge for a number of reasons, but again, we're going to focus on unique challenges faced by minority-owned businesses, and those are really, really three challenges that are
Ryan?
interrelated. Yes.
Your audio's cutting in and out as you're talking.
It's getting muffled.
Yeah.
How's that?
Good.
Yeah,
Is that better?
Yes.
that's perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
So again, the implementation of the CARES Act has been challenging for a number of reasons, but minority-owned businesses face three unique and interrelated challenges around access, timing, and size, okay? Where access is concerned, you know, there are statistics that say 70% of primarily African-American neighborhoods don't have bank branches at all. So, you know, we all know that not having a good banking relationship is a barrier to receiving capital for any reason every day of the year. And PPP loans are not any different from that, okay? So it's important to find the right bank and then talk to the right person inside the bank in order to have success with the application process. So where the right bank is concerned, some banks didn't process any PPP loans at all. For instance, banks without experience in government guaranteed lending or really small community institutions didn't participate, period. Some large banks that you've heard of have had issues around PPP lending as well. For instance, Wells Fargo stopped taking applications, I think 3 or 4 days into the process, even for their existing customers, which left, you know, lots of large companies without access to funds. JP Morgan Chase is accused of having prioritized commercial and private banking customers. This is really large businesses and individuals with access to a lot of resources ahead of other clients in their system, smaller businesses, for instance. Just to give you an example, the LA Lakers organization got a $4.6 million PPP loan. Now, I like the Lakers fine, but I don't know if they needed that money more than businesses in our community. So, you know, these are just some of the issues we see around access, but it's not just banks. Other financial services are impacted by that as well. Tax accounting services, financial advice services, access to these is not the same across all communities, again, as we know. For instance, access to CPAs. So at Simmons Bank, we've got a robust SBA department that made a decision early on to publish its own calculator to determine what the loan amount was. Now, if you were able to get a hold of me and get access to that calculator, you would have had it. But in the absence of that, a CPA would have been able to review the legislation and tell you what amount you could have applied for without talking to a bank at all. So, you know, a good CPA ought to be able to introduce you to a good banker, but they provide a whole different set of financial services that the bank doesn't, that can be advantageous in the application process. So back to Simmons process, if your calculator was prepared by a CPA, those applications flew through the process. We asked fewer questions, there were fewer documentation requirements. It was a much easier process if your calculator was prepared by a CPA. Organizations like SCORE and the SBDC, I don't know if you all are familiar with those organizations, being there at 35 and Seminary or Rosedale, are also excellent resources that can help you access capital as a small business owner. For instance, an SBDC counselor who I've had a relationship with for years introduced me to 2 clients who I was able to receive PPP funding for. So sometimes just that intermediate introduction is all you need to get the capital you're looking for. So that brings us to timing. We've covered access. The first round of funding started April 2nd. By the 15th, 13 days later, the entire appropriation of $349 billion was gone in 13 days. At Simmons, we worked over that weekend and have worked over many weekends since to get our clients funding, but there's only so many hours in the day, right? That this gets us to timing. it came down to who was the first in line, ready with an application package that was complete and ready to submit, are the businesses that got funding during that first round. So what part of that process can you control as a business owner? It's really completeness of the application. Having to go back one or more times to collect items that were incomplete or incorrectly filled out slows us down. It's not bad, everybody makes errors, but if we're slowed down in an application process where a $350 billion appropriation is being expended over 13 days, then my having to email you twice could be the difference between you're receiving funds and not having received funds during that first round, okay? So accuracy always counts, timeliness always counts, but in a government lending situation where there's a limited supply of funds, it counts even more because the timing is just so much more important. All right, now we're in the second round of funding and things have gone a little bit differently. April 27th, round 2 started and we funded about, and when I say we, I mean the whole banking system, we funded about 162 billion during round 2. So what that means is there's money available. There are a couple different reasons for that. Average loan size has gone down a little bit. The big guys were in line first and got their money. But the most important thing for the audience today is that there are funds available, right? If we can get your application in the queue, we can get you PPP funds if you've not received them already. Which brings us to size. North of 90% of African-American owned businesses are sole proprietorships. So that includes contractors and self-employed individuals. Banks, historically have not always done a great job of serving those businesses. And again, the PPP loan program is not an exception to that rule. The average loan size reported by the SBA for the program to date is $116,000. I'm sure many of you on the call know that if you're a sole proprietorship, your loan is substantially smaller than $116,000, which is fine. We just got to understand when we're looking at why some businesses receive funding and some don't. Banks are businesses too. We've got to operate, with our depositors and shareholders in mind, and make decisions about how to use our time most effectively. Another issue, around size and timing is that the application process didn't even open for self-employed businesses until April 10th, which was about a week after the first program rolled out. So if all the funds during round 1 were expended in 13 days and you didn't start your application process until a week after the gong went off, you're not in very good position to get funds. Okay, now that was, again, there's a lot of reasons for this. Some of the guidance wasn't very clear from the SBA.
Ryan, your audio is cutting in and out again.
Okay. Banks made individual business decisions.
It's still pretty muffled.
It's the location of, when you have that.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
All right. How about that?
When it gets down into your coat, then it's muffled. Okay.
And I had to put this coat on for you all too. I was wearing my T-shirt. Anyhow,
you can take the coat off. You still got your shirt and tie on. We're okay.
You promise not to tell Stacy on me. All right, I appreciate
that. Be careful if you stand up. Some people only dress from the top up.
Some of us. Uh-oh. Okay, and here's Stacy. Anyhow, perfect timing. All right. So we've talked a little bit about the 3 reasons that minority-owned businesses were not able to receive PPP funding, the 3 interrelated factors of access, size, and timing. But the key that I want you to leave here with is that you do have access to Simmons Bank through me, ryan.jones@simmonsbank.com. And Simmons Bank is excited about sowing into the community that we're in, okay? So again, email me and I'll get you an application package. We'll get it processed immediately. If there's follow-up items, I'll follow up with you. But outside of that, I think that leaves us time for questions. And so I'd like to open up the floor for anyone with questions.
Okay, so what we normally do is there'll be people typing it in the chat, and I usually have a few ahead of time, and then we'll go to Denise and she'll let us know who we have in the chat. So what if I already applied and I haven't heard anything, and maybe I haven't even heard anything back from the bank I applied from? They haven't asked me for additional documents or anything like that. Can I switch to you guys?
You can. What I would recommend in that situation, just because we're trying to respect everyone's time, but I understand you as the business owner, you need an answer, and your bank that you applied with originally owed you an answer, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, so you should have gotten that by now. The first thing that I would do is call them and make sure that they don't have anything that they can share with you. And then, yes, let me get you a list of what I need to process your application, and we'll put it in. Unfortunately, if it turns out that your application has been approved at the other institution and they have an SBA E-Tran number for it, that will stop our application process. But at least that would give you the information that you had been approved with that other bank. We just have to figure out why they didn't have their stuff together and didn't contact you and let you know that.
Okay, great. Now, if we want to answer this a little later, that's fine. But wasn't there something like a Community Reinvestment Act or something such like that?
Yes, and that's a topic beyond the scope of my expertise. I would ask Stacy Bowers to speak on the Community Reinvestment Act, but
we can't pull her up. We'll invite her in for another one. Okay.
Understood.
We'll invite her for another. So Denise, you have any other questions?
Yes, there's a few.
Okay.
I'm going
Only questions, no comment.
Yes, for sure. On our Facebook Live, Tedrick Thurmond asked, can I apply as a nonprofit organization?
Yes, the SBA is typically not lend to nonprofits. In the case of PPP, nonprofits and 501Cs, including religious organizations, are eligible.
Awesome. There was a question, but Felicia answered it, but you can try to answer as well. An anonymous person asked, with round 2, did you need to reapply?
That depends on where your application was at the end of round 1. Anyone who applied with Simmons Bank in round 1 and did not receive funding did not need to reapply for round 2. I'm not able to speak for other banking institutions.
Awesome. Okay, and a few questions from Felicia. She asked, what about checking business credit? Do you do that?
No, business credit was not a condition of the PPP loan program. Typically, your personal credit is going to be a large factor in making a small business loan. And I would say that's loans up to $15, $20, $30 million. Your personal credit is going to be a key factor. In the case of the PPP, there's no checking personal credit, no checking business credit, no credit checks of any description.
Wait a minute. So is that, I think that's from the SBA, but I believe that I've heard, it seemed like other banks were putting another stipulation on it.
Absolutely. Now, your banking institution can decide to do whatever they would like to do. What I mean when I say that is credit score is not a factor in SBA underwriting for the PPP loan program. So if they chose to check your credit, that was up to them because they're making business decisions, but it should not have been a factor in the actual underwriting of the SBA loans.
Okay, wait a minute. That sounds like some political speak. So are you saying that, I heard what you said, that the bank could do that, but that's not part of the underwriting process. So let's just talk about who we know. Simmons.
Okay.
Did you guys add an additional credit stipulation when you did?
We did not check credit when we processed these loans.
You just took them, processed them, they guaranteed you're gonna get paid regardless.
That's precise. Well, no. Okay. And it's I appreciate you saying that's a little bit more complicated than that.
Okay.
Because the parameters of the program are so unclear that yes, it is government guaranteed lending, right? So the idea is that we fund the money out the door, it's 100% guaranteed. In the event of a default, we get made whole, but the requirements for proving all that up were not exactly clear, okay? But
that's the plan.
Yeah, that was the plan. But your personal credit, even then, right? I can make a government guaranteed loan under SBA 7A, and I'm very much concerned about your personal credit because I don't want to be in a default situation. I don't want to be trying to collect on the guarantee from the SBA, right? So I'm going to have a look at that. I'm going to understand what's going on there. In the case of these loans, they're unsecured loans with no personal guarantor. They're loans to the business, okay? Candidly, Daryl, check and credit would have slowed us down, right? The banking system put $350 billion through in 13 days, and it just would have added an extra step that we didn't feel added anything to the credit decision. This is another reason why a lot of institutions were only eager to make these loans to people they had pre-existing relationships with, right? It didn't make my list of access, size, or timing. But if I already know you, for instance, I've already loaned you $1 million to do whatever it is you're doing, then, you know, it's a no-brainer for me to make this loan for you when you need it.
So where is the decision made? Is the decision made at the local level in the bank on who's going to get approved, or you just process the paper? When you decide to process the paperwork, then the SBA does the underwriting and approves it or not, and then sends you a check.
That's a complicated question. So in the case of Simmons, we're headquartered in Little Rock. Little Rock made the decision that we were going to use these loans as potentially a business development tool, that we wanted to get one for every one of our current customers who needed one, and then look out into the community and say, if we're able to help, let us help you. Okay.
Okay.
After that, the local staff and everybody from the president on down was processing loan applications late into the evening because of the timing of the way that the program came out, right?
Right.
So to answer your question it's probably a corporate level decision. It's not really a decision that's made primarily inside of a bank branch, right? For a company the size of Simmons, we're about 20 billion in assets. We got our directives from corporate and then we carried them out. We are what's called a PLP. So the SBA accepts our underwriting. We have a robust government guaranteed lending program that operates year round. So we were able to lean on those resources during this time, right? The experts look at this and said, okay, we understand this program. This is how we want to administer it. If I were XYZ Bank of Fort Worth and I didn't have that, I might have arrived at a very different decision, right? But in this case, Simmons did all of its underwriting locally, and the SBA accepted our underwriting.
Okay. I just saw a question and I forgot. I thought I remembered I had intention on talking about this. Can you speak to turning the loan into a grant, PPP from a loan into a grant? I know there's an application now that's out there that just showed up about 10 days ago.
I was afraid you were going to ask me that, Daryl. That's the next wave, is the forgiveness process. What the question is about is around forgiveness. I will tell you the little bit that I'm qualified to speak on forgiveness as I sit here is for businesses with employees, 75% of PPP proceeds needed to be spent on payroll-related activities, okay?
Yes.
With 25% on other operating expenses like rent, utilities, etc.
Yes.
Outside of that, I have to direct you to the app itself and make sure we've got that filled out properly. But we're expecting guidance in the coming week from our SBA department, and I'd be eager to share that with the group when I've got it.
Okay. So what I do know, you're absolutely correct about those percentages, and what we recommend to our members in the community is that when they receive those funds, they put them in separate accounts, so it's easy to show what you spent that money on. And there's actually now an application for forgiveness out there. And forgive me that I didn't, but you can go on SBA and it's there when you get into that point. So most of us are still trying to get money. So
Ryan.Jones@simmonsbank.com.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions regarding this particular PPP, Denise, out there? Because we're going to go to the next phase, if not.
There's still a few questions.
Okay.
Felicia asked, they said no personal guarantee required. Did that change? If it's an out of state business, can an out of state business come to you? that I have clients that are waiting on responses about the PPP. They're out of state. Can they come to you?
The Simmons goal is to serve the communities that we operate in. We've been asked to restrict our efforts to those markets. Shoot me an email and let's discuss in a little bit more detail, though, I'd say.
It's a good salesperson answer.
And you already
Maybe.
answered, and then you already answered the one on Facebook Live. They asked, do the funds only apply to employee pay? And you said there were several other.
Yeah, so the calculation of the loan amount was based around
Let me cut you off because I don't want to go over the same things we've already talked about. 75% payroll, 25% other expenditures. Okay, that's keep your money separate and spend it in those ways. Get you a CPA. To guide
Daryl,
you.
if you need a job down at the bank, we got a chair for you, because that's exactly right. That's exactly what I would say.
And also we have the SBDC to kind of help guide you as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Angela Neal asked, what are some of the major reasons applications are denied other than inadequate information on the application?
All of your employees using your payroll calculation have to be full-time U.S. residents. I believe certain felonies made you ineligible. Generally speaking, this program casts a very wide net. There are fewer applications that were thrown out due to ineligibility than any other program I've ever seen. It was primarily the presence of felonies and all of your employees not living in the U.S. were the two major reasons.
Okay, we got to go. It's 3:43, so we're going to go to the next phase. Denise, if you would. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you so much. Hold on, and
No,
we
sir,
may have
thank
some
you.
other questions at the end. Denise, can we go to the
Share?
no, to the preserve the fort?
Yes.
Because people want some more money, and as many of you may know, the city of Fort Worth had a gift, got a grant from Facebook. And so we administered, in the process of administering those loans, I think over 1,000 people applied, and that's going to be from $1,000 to $5,000. And today we have the city of Fort Worth and partners have launched a new program. It's called Preserve the Fort, Preserve Fort Worth, small business grants. And you can find this if you go on to our Facebook page, Facebook business page. You can go onto our Facebook business page, and if you're there now, you will see the original flyer that says Preserve the Fort. You will see the link. When you click on the link, you go to Denise, can you scroll up a bit so they can see what that? Did you go see right there? That's City of Fort Worth. So that's the City of Fort Worth page. So Preserve the Fort, and this is directly from that, and then we will click in a bit and go to the application. So just scrolling on down, it launched today. City of Fort Worth, oh, don't go so far, come back up a little bit. The City of Fort Worth just received $158 million from the CARES Act, and that's to cover a lot of things. Some is reimbursing the city for money they've already put out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then part of that money is now set aside to help business, small business. So, which is $10 million. And it's going to be through Fourth Chamber, Fourth Metropolitan Black Chamber, the Fourth Hispanic Chamber, as well as, what's the other one first? United Way. Yes, United Way, the other organization.
United Way of Tarrant County.
Yes. So that 10 million, 5 million is going to be dispersed to various other businesses, but 2.5 million is going to be set aside for small businesses, and then also businesses in neighborhood empowerment zone. We usually call neighborhood improvement zone. Scroll up just a little bit. We're going to go to the eligibility. Of course, you need to be in the city of Fort Worth. And if you have 5 employees or less, you can get up to $5,000, 6 to 25, $7,500, 25 to 50, $10,000, and 51 to 250 employees, up to 50,000. So that's the eligibility and the funding. Oh, then we talked the eligibility, funding. I think we got all that good stuff. And you can apply now starting this morning at 9 a.m. These funds can be used for working capital, business expenses, health benefits, just a wide array of things to help you get through this period. Now, scroll up some more. We're gonna get to before, but just understand this is like, well, it's not a loan, but there's just some, this is money coming from the federal government. And so in the federal government, if they decide to look and see how this money was spent at the city of Fort Worth level, they're gonna just need to have their ducks in a row. So you're gonna have to be a legitimate business. You're gonna need a W-9. You may need to have your business registered with the state, or you need to have done a DBA proof. So you just got to prove that you're a legitimate business. You may have to have a bank, show that you have a bank. You have to show something that you're a legitimate business, not that you just showed up and trying to act like you need some money and you hadn't set your business up. So just be real talk. Profit loss statement. You got to file on your income tax at least in 2018, a Schedule C or something. Ryan is laughing because people try to borrow money from him, and he looking at them like they're crazy. Like, really? You got nothing.
Preach, Daryl. Preach.
You got nothing. I can't do this. I'll lose my job. So scroll on down and see if I left anything out. The funding information. Okay, yeah, that's it. So again, the partners of the city of Fort Worth, United Way of Tarrant County, the SBDC with the Small Business Development Center, Fort Worth Chamber, Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber, Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. And so that's what it is. If you have questions about it, please go ahead and type in your questions. It's straightforward. If you've already applied for PPP, if you applied for SBA loan, EIDF, you applied for all that stuff, you can still apply for this. If you got money for all of that stuff, you can still apply for this. But understand, the purpose is to take care of people who've gotten zero first. Okay? That don't mean you can't get money out of this, but the priority is, if you've already gotten 5,000 and somebody else hasn't gotten anything because of circumstances, because of their access, time, and or size, then this is an opportunity for them to get some money.
Yes. And
So,
the deadline is June 8th.
Okay. Now, can we bring Felicia in, Denise? You see her out there? And what we're going to do right quick, we're going to click and let Felicia go on to the application. Felicia, don't ask no questions. Just go on to the application. Go on to the application. We're just going to kind of scroll down so people can know where to find it. And then just be a little more familiar when they jump on there on their own. Are you there, Felicia?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Welcome. Thank you for.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm trying to share my screen.
Your screen is up. We see it.
Okay, perfect. All right. So.
And this is Felicia Jeffries. She's with More Financial. And she's the own. Well, tell them who you are and why are you on that page?
Because I'm going to pull it up through the Black Chambers
Okay. All right.
Facebook page.
Okay, good.
So I'm a business credit consultant. I help businesses build their credibility, and I help the business owners build the credit of their company. I'm about to show you all how to go in and ask the application through the Facebook page of the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. There's a little bar up at the top of my screen that I'm trying to, there it goes. There it goes. So if you guys go to the Chamber's Facebook page and scroll down, to where it says preserve the fort, where it says learn more and apply now, I'm going to click on that. Right here it says apply now. It tells when the application closes, so you want to apply as early as possible. I'm going to click here, apply online now. Now this is where the application starts. Pardon me for the technical difficulties. This is the information that you want to enter in. I'm going to kind of go through this generically.
Oh, don't type, just talk.
Okay, so basically you're going to enter in your business name, your tax ID. If you're a sole proprietorship and never have applied for an EIN number, enter in your social. Enter in your business's phone number, your business's email address, your business address. It must be located in Fort Worth. If your business is different from your mailing address, they want to know if you've been in business as of September 1st of last year. And they want to know if you've already received funding through the SBA, the disaster relief, or the PPP. It wants to know the name of the business owners, what percentage of ownership the business owners have. If you all have an operating agreement, then you'll know that information. If you're 100% owner, put that information there. The categories, pick the appropriate category for your business. Will you be applying for other businesses that you own? How many employees you have? How
What
many?
if I don't have any employees? It's just me.
Well, it depends on how your business is set up.
I'm a sole proprietor.
Well, you are your business, so you
So
put one. One employee.
Okay.
You have to put right here what the funds will be used for. This right here states, are you an independent contractor or sole proprietor? Are you planning on maintaining your employees through the end of the year? Was your business open, closed, or partially open during the stay-at-home order?
Well, what if I was open, but I wasn't making no money because didn't nobody come into the restaurant? So.
Well, then you need to be honest because you need the money.
So you was open. You was basically partially open. You basically were partially open. Yes.
Right. Now you need to be prepared to upload documentation. So you need to W-9 documentation of going concern and business verification. If you have a certificate of formation or if you have a DBA, that's your verification.
What if I didn't do a DBA? I'm just using my social security number.
You need something to prove that you've been in business. So if you're doing your taxes, talk to your accountant, and you should have some type of Schedule C or your tax returns to prove that you made money.
Okay.
That will be uploaded right here. You will need a profit and loss statement. They'll want to know if you want a check or the money transferred into your bank account. You'll have to certify that the information you provided is true, and you'll sign the application. The most important thing you want to remember is to have your documents ready. Talk to your accountant if you have to. I hope you've already filed your taxes. And that's it. It's a simple application.
Okay, very good. I appreciate you. Denise, do we have any questions?
Yes, give me a second because it won't let me pull it up if it's still sharing the screen. 1 second.
Okay. All right, very good.
So
Felicia, you want to tell us about yourself right quick? What you do for people?
Yes, I do a lot.
Well, you got about 30 seconds.
What I do is basically I help businesses increase their revenue. I make sure you have a credible business so that you can obtain funding. That's what I do.
Okay. Denise, you ready?
yes, on Facebook Live, we have Danette Wicker asked, "What if you do not pay quarterly taxes? I have a Schedule C."
Schedule C will work. Let's change the screen, Denise.
And then Albert Pinson wanted to see if would I talk to Ryan about new commercial construction loans? What is the range of interest rate for new construction commercial loans?
Man, you already know. It depends on who you are, what you're doing. Don't be playing.
More importantly than rate, yeah, what Daryl said, certainly. More importantly than rate is this is a very difficult environment for commercial lending right now. But yes, I'm the person to talk to about it. Shoot me an email, ryan.jones@simmonsbank.com. We'll have a conversation.
Hey, Albert, good to see you. Glad you're looking in.
So Randall Howard had several questions and comments. Give me a second.
No comments, only questions. We only got a few more minutes. Ryan, it's almost 4. Can you stay at 5 or 10 minutes longer, or you got a hard stop?
I can stick with you, Daryl.
Okay, awesome.
All right, Randall said, "My PPP loan was based on actual prior payroll only. Are there additional funds available for non-payroll? I do not have to submit any other information except payroll. How do I get the other 25% non-payroll?"
Okay, so that and I answered that question in the chat. That was not the loan amount was only based on prior payroll. Forgiveness, the advice is spend 75% of what you got on payroll, 25% on other operating expenses. Short answer to your question is there are no funds available for rent or utilities.
Oh, so let's slow down and talk about that. So I think I remember it was what 2.5%.
It's 2.5 times average monthly payroll. Yes.
Yeah, 2.5 times. That's it. Average. So that would be your loan amount.
Maximum loan amount. Exactly.
Maximum loan amount. But once you get the money, 75%, well, 100% of it can be forgiven if you spend 75% on payroll and 25% on utilities, business expenses.
And occupancy, exactly. Now, different banks use different application procedures. At Simmons, we didn't want to make a loan that wasn't going to be forgiven, so we asked for documentation of those other expenses, but they wouldn't increase the loan amount.
Okay.
He also asked, is it absolutely necessary for you to have filed 2019 taxes?
No.
Okay, again, yeah, I can't speak for any other institution, but Daryl's right, as usual. At Simmons, I did require, for a sole proprietor, I do require 2019 Schedule C, but I don't require that it's been filed with the IRS. So I've got to have the piece of paper, but it doesn't have to necessarily be filed.
Woo!
All right, Angela Neal asked, what if businesses uses contractors, which are technically not employees? Are contractors to be counted in the number of employees? The business intended to keep? No.
No.
No,
No,
because
no.
yeah, because under the every interim final rule that's been published, a 1099 employee is an independent contractor that can apply for their own PPP funds. So I
Right.
don't want to pay Daryl based upon his contractors and then have his contractors turn around and submit for the same PPP loan. Then I'm funding the same money twice.
And what's been that's called double dipping. Government
Exactly.
don't like that.
Exactly.
Someone asked, how do I get funding for adding a sewer tap to an undeveloped residential area?
What? That don't sound like PPP stuff what we're talking about. But I think
And
Yeah,
And then-
we got to identify a primary source of repayment on that. But if we can, we might be able to look at it.
so. Whoever that was, give them Ryan's information. Ryan, why don't you type? No, you probably can't. We'll type Brian's information in. He's given it out a couple times. So if you have that information, that request regarding money, get with Ryan.
Some of y'all have got it. I can tell by my inbox. Ryan.jones@simmonsbank.com.
Yeah, let's put Ryan back up front. You got a question, Felicia?
I do. Is there a
No questions from you.
Is there a loophole? Because I live in Fort Worth, but my office is in Dallas, and the office is closed down. But I'm a business owner who resides in Fort Worth.
Wait a minute. What's your about the
About
City-
the
city of Fort?
Port grant.
Yeah, this for Fort Worth companies. So you're gonna have to be able to show.
Daryl's muted,
you
Denise.
muted yourself. Daryl, you're muted. You're still muted.
Somebody was calling me. So you have to be able to show that you're in Fort Worth, that your business resides in Fort Worth, and it has a specific. I'm getting confused. Specific time frame too. I hope I'm not getting those loans confused, applications confused. But yes, you have to have a specific address in Fort Worth because, and let me just help you understand why. Money is coming from the federal government and it's coming to the city of Fort Worth to be dispersed. This is federal money to be dispersed through the city of Fort Worth to businesses in Fort Worth. Money is, if you live in Arlington, for instance, Fort Worth can't provide you that money because even if we did, the federal government is gonna say, look, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I ain't, you gonna owe me, give me that money back. Now, if you live in Arlington, that's under Tarrant County because the city of Arlington is too small population-wise to get money directly for the federal government to do this. So those people are gonna have to go through Tarrant County directly, or Tarrant County is gonna have to come out with a program to help people in Tarrant County who are not in Fort Worth.
Someone's asking for Felicia's information. Felicia, how can people get in contact with you?
Okay, so you can reach us at No, I take that back. I'm sorry. Felicia, Felicia, and Moore, Moore, financialservices.net.
And just giving people a heads up out there that we're not ignoring you. We're answering questions and not going over statements since we're short on time. So if you have any questions, please make sure to type those in.
Yeah, I know this is Facebook, but it's a question and answer period.
And that's all I see. I think we've answered all the questions. Are a net or gross amount used to calculate payroll for PPP loans to protect? All I see. I think we've answered all the questions.
Gross.
Net or gross amount used to calculate payroll for PPP loans to protect?
Yeah, there's a ghost in the machine, but it's a gross amount for payroll.
Gross. Net or gross amount used to calculate payroll for PPP. Who has?
There's a ghost in the machine, but
Okay, sorry. Felicia, you have both of them open. I muted you. You're good.
Okay. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, I want to thank Ryan Jones, the Vice President at Simmons Bank. for coming to spend time with us and ask questions and hang around a little longer. I thank Felicia for coming and going through the application to help us be clear on that. And so if you have any questions for me directly, dbrewer@fwmbcc.org, 817-871-6558. I can connect you with any of those folks. Felicia, do you want to say how to contact you again? Oh, she can't talk.
I
Never
can
mind.
tell. You can reach us at 888-387-1117.
Okay, and how about you, Ryan? You want to go ahead and give your contact information out one more time?
I'm at ryan.jones@simmonsbank.com.
Awesome. Again, we thank both of you for coming out and helping us with this. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to Denise so she can close us out.
Thanks, y'all. All right, want to thank everybody for joining us today. There was one more question on our Facebook Live, which is, are there any advantages to joining the chamber? So as I have mentioned before, I am the membership service director. So if you have any questions about membership, let me know. But there are a great amount of benefits of being part of the chamber. First part is helping us advocate for minority businesses in the community, especially African-American businesses. So being part of that movement, being able to be a part of a team of people that are trying to help you put your business out there. We have networking opportunities. I mean, as of right now, because of COVID-19, that's put a little damper on the networking events part. But as you can see, we're compensating with other ways of being able to connect people with the community, as our webinars. So there's that. There's you are able to add on to I'm sorry, I just got a call. Sorry. Anyway, so you're able to apply online through our website, FWMBCC.org. Be a part of our team in helping us reach out to the community and get these businesses out there. Like we're able to help you put your business out there through marketing, type of advertising-ish. We do have monthly newsletters that go out to over 1,000 people. So we have a pretty good database to be able to help you promote your businesses. The way that you're able to do that is you send me like your flyer or marketing materials. We're able to put it like either on our social media, our email blasts, things like that. We have like a referral program. So we have people that call in asking for African-American specific businesses. So if you're part of our database, then we're able to help you connect you with these people in the community, as well, of course, as like business counseling. Daryl does one-on-one business counseling with you about your business to try to make sure that you're going in the right direction. And if you need any other resources, we're able to help you with that. So there's a numerous amount of benefit to being part of the chamber. So if you have any further questions about that, let me know. My email address is dbabiche, BABICHE @FWMBCC.org. And that pretty much concludes our webinar for today. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're interested in featuring your business at the beginning of the webinar, make sure to fill out the form. If you're interested in joining, let me know. If you don't already follow us on social media, our social media handle is FW Black Chamber. And that's all. And so we'll see y'all next week at the same time, same place. Zoom or Facebook Live at 3 o'clock. Also, tomorrow we're having our new member orientation. So if you are a new member or kind of a new member and you haven't gone to your new member orientation, join us tomorrow. And yeah, so thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thanks everybody for being a part here. Bye.